Well, speaking of woke trash, here's a new study that I thought I would share because it's pretty interesting. So, a new study came out, and it's basically not even close, that shows Gen Z is by far the loneliest generation in history.
Oh,
This says members of Gen Z are sharing their experiences with growing rejection across relationships, education, and careers, leading to anxiety and isolation. In a recent Business Insider article, author Delilah Kai profiled a Gen Z adult named M. These sound like dorks. Uh, this sounds like the type of kid whose name was Emily and goes by M because
right.
she's so quirky. Who recounted hundreds of rejections they faced regarding important life stages. M described the difficulty dealing with these rejections while living with a loved one on just a few $100s each month from contract work, feeling like life was not worth living at the moment. Kai rejected the idea as a sense of entitlement among Gen Z is not the issue, but rather the generation's expectation of agency in an increasingly mediated world. By the way, that's their fault. Gen Z
Hmm.
is the one that have asked for that.
Right.
From
Sure.
education to careers to romance, never before have young adults had this much access to prospective yeses, and in turn, never before have had young adults been told no so frequently. Now that
Mm.
actually that is probably true if you think of it in like dating apps or job
Yeah.
application websites. Like when I was young, like you had to actually go. This is like dinosaur age. You had to print your resume and take it to a place
Right.
and like apply for the
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
Even when I was like in my Gen Z 20s, like where they are now,
Right.
it was still nowhere near like you might apply on their website or you might find there might be like a couple of job websites. Now you upload your resume once and you could probably get 1,000 rejection letters in your inbox.
When I was looking for my first job, I went to stores in person. I looked at this. I remember going to the mall, see
Me
who all
too.
has a hiring sign. You walk in, you
Can I fill out an
ask for an
application?
application. Yeah,
Yep.
you what there wasn't all of this like online going on. And I think that everything has, the internet has obviously helped society in a lot of ways, but it has contributed to a lot of the loneliness epidemic that's going on as well, especially with the young people, because what used to we had to be out and about to do, even just to like buy clothes and stuff. It was
Yeah.
go to the mall, go to the store. Like
Mhm.
there wasn't just, oh, this looks cute. Let me get it on
Go on
Amazon.
Amazon.
Let
Yeah.
me go to this website for this clothing brand. Let me get my shoes here online. I know my size. I'll just do that. It's like you actually went out in person to do all of these things. You didn't have like all these food deliveries, these grocery deliveries. It was like everything you had to go out and take care of. And so people are just not getting social interaction. And then you also have this commodified um dating scene. It's just like, okay, here you can just like shop for people on an app. And then you went that coupled with the rise of hookup culture and taking away traditional values in terms of like, hey, it's actually shameful to be out there
Hmm.
and being a hoe. Now it's kind of they try to glorify it. And so then you have all these people who are just using each other just to hook up with no commitment. And it's just a mess right now that so many people who actually if they want to do things the right way and they want, okay, I don't want to be a part of that culture, then you don't want to mess with the dating apps. Not enough people are out and about trying to meet each other in that way anymore. So you just feel like, heck it, I ain't even gonna try. And that's like even what I do. It's just like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm not even gonna try because I'm not doing the dating app thing. And so you just check out of the whole game. And so, yeah, I definitely feel bad for especially the younger generation. In this case, I mean, this is a tough situation, and a lot of it is Gen Z entitlement. But then another part of it, I do feel like is just a societal issue that needs to correct itself. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great take. I think I used to just bag on Gen Z in general,
hmm,
but when you really do start to think about that kind of stuff, I feel bad for them.
right,
Like they'll never play night games. Do you remember what night games is called? Do you ever, basically what would happen is it would be like 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock at night. We would text all of our friends, not text, oh my God, go door to door
Yeah.
and be like, hey, do you want to play night games? Do you want to play night games? Do you want to play night games? We would play kick the can or like ghost in the graveyard.
Kick the can was really fun.
But like you had to go out and like, find people to play, or you had to go do these things. These people have no skills in that department.
Right.
They don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to talk to people. I see them in the bar. They sit there and they're like totally like they're on their phone in the bar. And I'm like, why are you even out in public? You're not talking to anybody.
That's true. If you're just sitting there on your phone. And my mom was just watching some short that somebody recorded on, because she watches the Facebook reels. She saw somebody that was getting choked at a restaurant, and somebody else was trying to help them and do the Heimlich. And then there's somebody sitting like, I don't know if it was at a bar, but they were right next to him, just on their phone the whole time. And they knew what was going on. They looked over at it and then just stayed on their phone the whole time. Somebody literally choking and getting the Heimlich. It's like, what is going on? People are so disconnected from each other, and just a lot of people just don't care about their fellow man anymore. Yeah.
Someone says, why can't you just let a man enjoy his beer in peace? I know you're just joking. It's not, I mean, usually if you've been to the pub enough, you know those guys. They have a look. These people want people to talk to them. And they're like, I'll be like, hey, do you want to shoot darts? And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Like they have no idea how to walk up to somebody and be like, I'll be like, hey, you want to shoot pool? I'm not any good, but we're sitting here. Might as well move around and do something. And like, that's a skill that these kids just don't have. Like, I see people in the bar playing mobile games. Right. I'm dead serious. Like, watching, what are you doing? Like, go talk to people. People go out, then Jeremy shames them for trying. No, I'm not. I'm shaming you for going out and being a weirdo. Like, but I'm also giving you the excuse. Like, these people were never taught because they grew up in front of an iPad. Right. Like, my brother-in-law, I know his dad listens to the show, but he's pretty close to an iPad kid. They did make him, he did go out a lot. Like, he got into dirt biking and stuff. So he has decent social skills. But like, I know other, parents with kids who's like, that kid is on the iPad 8 hours a day. And they have no concept of what's going on around them. And when they want food, they put it in DoorDash. When they want to, meet a girl, they go on a hookup app. When they want a job, they go on an app for that. And they have no idea how to interact. So the fact that they're so lonely, like, feminism also is a big reason why a lot of women are lonely. Modern feminism. Yeah. Men are legitimately afraid to walk up to a woman and talk to them. Right. Because they've been called toxic for the last 15, 20 years.
Well, and I think that a lot of what they're trying to do online with like the feminists are trying to act like all men are trash. And then you have the opposite side of the manosphere trying to tell men like, don't get married. And women they're all trying to steal your money. It's like, people are not getting, they're not giving each other a chance, and they're just assuming the worst of every single person, because it's like, yeah, there are bad women out there and there are bad men out there as well. But if you go out and touch grass, you will realize that most of the people are not as they say. Because a lot of these guys, I'm not 6 foot tall and I don't make $300,000 a year, so I can't find a wife. Meanwhile, if you actually look at the data, most men who are married are not 6 feet tall and do not make nearly that much money. So it's like, clearly it is happening. And also these women act like, all men only want to use you for your body. Not all of them. It's just like that. You can't, if you go out in the real world, touch some grass, meet some people, not every guy is going to act like these feminists act like guys are. And not every, maybe most of them don't think that way, if the chronically online.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've definitely met some whores in real life, but both men and women related. Right. But I think that there's a huge market in keeping people sad and alone. And we often talk about like the government, like you'll own nothing, you'll own nothing, you'll live in a pod. How's that saying go? You own nothing, you'll eat the bugs. Yeah. Yeah. Like there's a huge industry in that. Like the whole porn industry is dependent on that. I've always said for years, like AI women and AI men partners are going to be the hugest industry to be in. And there's also a cottage industry of people like Andrew Tate saying all women are trash. And people like, I don't know, I can't think of prominent feminists anymore.
There's
Like,
this one sprinkle
laced-
lady,
yeah.
is what she calls it.
Oh
Where
yeah,
she
the sprinkle
just-
sprinkle.
I'm
on my
just like,
sprinkle
what the
sprinkle.
heck? She just looks at it. It's just like, and it's funny because the extreme feminists and then the super manosphere, like the Andrew Tate mindset, kind of, they're so weird. It's like they're made for each other almost because they're using
Yeah.
each other. Because the manosphere side will even say, or that extreme side will even say, like, oh, it's gay to view your wife as your friend. What are you talking about?
Right, yeah,
No,
right.
You just like, all she is for you to make babies with, and then you spend time with your bros. And then you have like this sprinkle lady who's just like, yeah, so what? All men are liars, all men cheat, as long as he's giving you money. That's
Right.
all that matters. Just
You're
take
right.
his money. He doesn't have to be your friend. Just take his money. And it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, it creates this self-perpetuating sadness where
Yeah.
like they're not happy. They can't figure out why. And it's like, I can figure out why you're not happy. And it's yes, individual men have been screwed over by individual women. Individual women have been screwed over by individual
Right.
men.
Yep.
That's, absolutely positively happened. However, to pretend like that's the reality for everything and everyone, I just, I don't think that that's good. So you combine that with, you combine that with, these like influencers with apps, influencers on both sides with the app culture. What chance do these kids have?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
what chance do they legitimately have in life?
Well, it's hard because a lot of people of the young generation, it's like what I'm finding is those who actually want real relationships, they're finding them from online when, oh, we played the same game together and got to know each other. We were in the same Discord server. And that's always great when that does work out, but it's just sad when it seems like that is one of the most viable options. Like used to, that was like some rare, oh, wow, how awesome is that? But it seems like now for people actually to form relationships more, instead of like out in the real world meeting people, it's just like, it almost has to be on the internet.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, it says, Kai also pointed out that the fear of rejection has helped shape Gen Z as one of the loneliest and most anxious generations. Well, you're also soft if you're afraid of being rejected.